the late round that they were looking for. And as I mentioned, in comes the force by all Galil's AK armor for Grim, who, like I said, got a multi-frag in the pistol that can make a pretty big difference, and then a scout for Hulzerk, but no utility for the T side. So this is going to be contact CS.
Swing straight in mid and one out of E-Box here for Cloud9. So looking to control those areas of the map early on in the round.
Yeah, as a team with a lot more grenades in a round like this, their job is really just to use that utility to be able to create advantages. But Shiro looking for information over on B long, instantly punished there. So man disadvantage for the CT side now, and somewhat of a weaponry disadvantage as well.
Tends to be the case when the T side gets that bomb plant down. Got an AK there for Grim.
Not many people would say MP9 is a disadvantage, to be honest. Complexity slowly closing the net towards this big site, making their way through water, sitting outside B main. Like I said, no grenades. This is all just contact play, good spacing.
Yeah, I'm not feeling very confident here if I'm Hobbit either, right? Having to solo hold the B site with only an MP9. You've got Perfecto kind of floating around, but he's really not in a position to help you out too much at this stage. No flashes or anything like that. Maybe he can get a molly into main, but it's just not going to help at all, is it? Hobbit goes down for free. Now it's on to the rest of the squad, and Maxine, Electronic, and Perfecto able to strike. Does make this one still a little interesting. Upgrade there for Axile. Won't matter because Grim's got the headshot with the AK, and JT covers off the rest. Complexity will win round 2. The force buy works out this time.
Crushing for the CT economy. They're going to have to force themselves, but particularly in MR12, these round 2 force buys on the T side post-bomb plant are absolutely brutal. See how Cloud9 is going to respond and recover to that. Of course, they are double eco, so they will have to force themselves. UMP out for Axile, mostly pistols across the board with a scout on Shiro. Complexity with much better utility than they had in the last round. Quick 3-1-1 across the map, looking to look for duels towards this B main area. Use this rifle advantage. Shiro really wants to try to connect us headshot with this scout, try to chip down the numbers of the cheat side.
Grim's been looking pretty good so far with that AK in hand. 5-0 at the moment. Not sure he's the kind of guy that I'd like to be challenging if I'm Cloud9.
Complexity after the initial contact towards B, now starting to work the middle of the map. Oh, a Liege with Electronic to deal with. Great flash from Axile to set up Electronic for success, but is traded out eventually. Axile to take next contact from House now.
That smoke's going to start to fade fairly soon. And it's going to bring with it quite a tenuous position for Axile, so quite safely it moves back into cams. And as a result, mid-control is going to be gone over to the side of Complexity. It's on steady, working their way through the map, but it definitely does look like it's going to get a split. Floppy doesn't quite get his timing right, though. Perfecto gets a freebie, and then a nice headshot onto Grim as well with that deagle. It's falling apart a little bit here for Complexity. Cloud9 will make their own force buy work.
Absolutely amazing for the CT side to recover in that situation. Making the pistols work. Great flash timing to set up Electronic for this opening pick. Yes, it's only a 1-for-1, but it allows the CT's rotations to settle a lot more when they see Complexity going for that contact play across bridge. Allows Cloud9 to exactly this, lean a little bit more heavily towards the A side of the map, and unfortunately Complexity could have split towards B, but unfortunately read it incorrectly, and now they must go again for this force buy early on. Both teams fighting for control of the economy. And Electronic, in the fine form that he's in, you want to see him continue to find success taking these duels towards bridge, especially supported by some solid utility from the rest of his team, of which they have a lot now. Aggression on A main from Axile, and like I said, a player who, in his best form, in the best era of Cloud9, was very aggressive, able to get in the face and find great intuitive timings to find picks. So already giving Cloud9 a bit of an advantage, and winning this round for the CT side would really help them steady the game that was so unstable to begin with after losing that second round.
Yeah, Axile's been someone that has been coming under fire a little bit in terms of his output at this event so far. 0.77 rating overall, and for someone that was really touted as being one of the big up-and-comers, hasn't quite worked out for him, at least at this event, but maybe there's still a peak yet to come, right? And if that is still the case, You'd be peaking at the right time if you're Cloud9, right? Peak today or peak tomorrow, going into the playoffs, and then you can really put some pressure on some of those top teams.
Grim not peaking at the right time. Doesn't look like it's going to work out for a Liege either. These contact plays with the Deagles not finding much success, not many shots being connected here, but in comes the walk-through E-Box from Holzerk. He's at least connected a shot onto Shiro, but a difficult shot to hit, nothing but head there onto a strafing MP9. Cloud9 steadies the ship up 3-1. They break the T-side economy and now have a chance at an anti-eco. They should have great money going forward on this CT side, and they will continue the front run for the foreseeable future in this half.
Yeah, very good start. Complexity's map pick as well, so if they are left reeling a little on Anubis, that's going to shake them for the rest of this series. Just back to the Glocks this time around for Complexity. Couple of P250s invested into. No util at all. This will be a farm round for Complexity. Where's Shiro with that MP9? He's in toward mid. So it might not get his opportunity if the push comes back toward A.
It's really just a bit of a nothing round for Complexity. For Cloud9, very important to keep max guns alive, just steady that economy as much as possible and try to min-max it. Still plenty of rounds to play with, even in the MR12 format. Make sure that you're not going to make yourself resettable. Nice little edge. Nate does quite a lot of chip damage there. And look at this, Shiro on his way over to the right side of the map.
Nice flash. The timing looks good. Axile is going to say thank you very much for that one, Shiro. What a round from Cloud9.
That's a confidence builder for Axile.
Yeah.
He's already found some nice timings. He's already set up his teammates for success with some good utility. So
that's perfect, isn't it?
I think he's going to start to feel better and better as this game goes on. And Axile, from a RAF performance in the opening couple of games here in Sydney, if he starts to step up, that is going to lift the floor of this Cloud9 roster, who some of which have already been putting in some good performances. Electronic and Hobbit have had some great maps so far.
That is very true. We're back into the buy round here, and straight away, JT able to strike through the smoke. Electronic gets his timing wrong.
B main push in the mid round, though, in response from Cloud9. Not wanting to rest on their laurels and sit by the wayside from a man disadvantage situation. Hobbit's flank timing, all important as Complexity take a chokehold on mid and start this A split, I believe. Oh no, they're looking towards B initially, waiting out this initial util. There's the HE nade to set them up to start to scale into the site. Axile able to pick 2 on the cross. Absolutely beautiful.
I mean, that's one of those situations, isn't it, where we're talking about in Counter-Strike 2, do you want to be holding an angle? Well, if you can do it like that, then yeah, is the answer, though Grim has been able to double back down, and what started nicely for Cloud9 has actually swung back in the other direction. Hobbit and Perfecto maybe even thinking about holding on to these weapons at this point in time.
Yeah, he never got a chance to get involved. Like, great flank timing. And Axile getting 2 there, put them in the pole position, but Grim just takes matters into his own hands. He's in great form so far this game. Looks like Cloud9 just trying to take guns away here. The new bomb radius really going to start to push these Ts off the site. Hobbit has got the exit covered. Perfecto trying to catch them in transition here.
There's one already for Perfecto and another for Hobbit, who will lose his life for his troubles. But a fairly costly round in the end for Complexity. Still, you'll take it early stages of the half.
Yeah, and usually you wouldn't want to trade with the T side on the CT side of the economy, but Cloud9, with the start that they've had so far to this game, they are going to be able to recover from that financially. So actually Cloud9 emptying their bank accounts, 1 alive on each team. Complexity going to have to reinvest in this next round. You know what that means? Round 7, all important swing round. Start to decide this half. Initial smokes towards house. Bridge smoke in reply from the CTs. Complexity throwing this progression utility towards B, trying to bait out CT utility. Cloud9 just zoning the Ts away from E-Box. In comes the push across bridge on the flash timing here for Complexity. It's a 1-for-1 so far. Shiro scrambling to get out of dodge.
Oh, not quite able to get away from JT, but at least is going to be traded down. Speaking of which, that nade should do the same to Axile.
That changes things. You can see Complexity, as soon as they get that nade kill, they immediately start to walk back, understanding that that's the mid information taken away from the CT side, which forces Hobbit to float across, re-clear middle. Perfecto also staying active in the meanwhile. Both of these CTs moving, looking for a right timing to find a duel. Perfecto in this retake ace position, may be able to actually pick a T on the cross into the site here.
I was going to say, they may have found the right positions here, Cloud9, to have an early impact, though. Perfecto, this is an awkward peak when you've got 3 players watching Heaven. Still, timing looked okay, but in the end, nobody walking away with a couple of bullets blasted across their face. Perfecto dealt with by Halzer. Good spacing from Complexity, and now it's just Hobbit who has to look to try to creep through this smoke. He's got a fair bit of util to work with. No smoke, though, for a defuse.
No head armor for Grim. Still hasn't upgraded his.
Hobbit's been good at this event so far, though. A little bit slow to start in this game, and will be swung by Halzer. Nice timing. There goes another head, and there goes another round for Complexity. They're slowly building in this first half.
And keeps this game competitive. You got the back and forth of the force buys between both teams, and Cloud9 getting that win in the important swing round previously, and then the anti-eco, they were setting themselves up for success, but Complexity immediately hits back in this round. Those trades in middle, all important to rob the CTs of information, and then, you know, they just play it by the numbers after that. Just play the contact in towards the extremities. So Complexity again against the pistols, looking to just take duels towards B main. But look at the boost up over the smoke. Perfecto almost found himself an angle. Unfortunately, Hobbit cleared up by that HE nade. It is a hero rifle, but mostly a save here for Cloud9, looking towards round 9.
Yeah, Smoke's keeping Cloud9 at bay for the moment, but Complexity more than happy to just hang around outside of B main and slowly but surely take these fights. Now another set of util getting tossed in by Complexity, and it's on to Shiro. He's already got one. Can he find an angle for another now that his position is known? M4 in hand had to be the difference maker and won't be. Grim doubling down. Clean as a whistle on the entries.
Really having a fantastic game so far. Has to be said for Grim. Electronic, not much for him to do in this round, and I think Complexity with 4 alive here. He'd love to find Grim there. Actually, that was the right player to be taking a duel with, given the fact that Grim had no head armor. See if he's going to upgrade it heading into this round, or whether it's maybe a little bit of an oversight. Floppy a little sleepy early on in this game. Hasn't had a chance to get involved.
Well, what's the response here from Cloud9 after a string of a few rounds now in a row for Complexity, equalizing the scoreline? Looks like a bit more presence in toward mid. 2 players there, 1 toward A, 2 toward B. Fight again for Grim.
Yeah, no head armor. He hadn't upgraded it, and Hobbit's punished him for that.
Yeah, flash through the smoke as well is going to be dealt with by Perfecto. Still some pressure in onto the B bomb site, but the fact that Perfecto is still persisting there, and now the bomb's been dropped outside of mid, this round has fallen apart for Complexity. Far too many trades coming through from Cloud9, and intelligent CT pushes as well, catching Complexity roster off guard.
This is very winnable here for Halzer. Finds the pick on the bridge player, well aware that his spawn is compromised. Electronic floating around in there. Perfecto looking for the timing out waterside. There are 1v1s to be taken in this round. The CTs still not linking up. Halzer, very cerebral from him, realizing where Electronic would reposition to cut the rotation back towards the A side of the map, but unfortunately can't connect the shot, and Cloud9 surviving with 2 players. Again, there's been really no clean economic rounds for some of these teams, and Complexity, they're going to take a timeout because their money's a little weird. Grim, 2k, 3k for Halzer. They could put together some kind of 8k Mac 10 buy, perhaps. Maybe a scout for Halzer is definitely a possibility. And it may be worth it because the reset window is definitely there after Cloud9 reduced their loss bonus to $1,900 with only 2 players surviving. If Complexity do force here, they will find a swing round timing where they can reset the economy here, and that's exactly what they're going to do. Scout comes out for Halzer, 3 rifles, and Tech 9 or a Mac 10, I'd imagine. Cloud9 very aggressive across bridge. Both teams seem to really just be changing up their approach about whether they... Ooh, hold on, chicken. No swimming, mate. Can't you read? Can't bloody read the sign.
I don't think chickens can read, actually. I've never met one that could.
This is something we need to remedy, Jordan. Some chicken education. Oh, Scout, bit of a tag there onto Perfecto. Axile continuing to aggress over on house side. Jumping around with an SMG. Blood thinks it's Call of Duty right now. Can't blame him though. I've been getting railed by that all week in CS2 Premier.
He's lucky to be alive, to be quite honest with you, but they're going to re-aggress onto A long. They've got that smoke deep, and so they do still control that area of the map. Meanwhile, Complexity on their way over to B, and it might well end up just being a contact play into the site here from Complexity.
I mean, it's 1 minute 20. Neither one of these teams has many nades left.
Goes down.
Oh,
Hobbit out of the picture early on in the piece, but Perfecto is at least able to secure one. Still bomb site now for Complexity.
See how C9 approach this retake. Axile making moves through middle here. Clears out close middle, so they know there's no T lurk, but they're mostly going to complete this retake in through CT spawn. It's going to be a big crossfire to break.
Yeah, tough retake for Complexity, and that is exactly why. JT, Floppy in combination, finding headshots together.
Yeah, that
then
was...
Elige one more, round is done.
That was never going to work, unfortunately, in the position that Complexity were in. I think Cloud9 didn't really have enough time to clear the rest of the map and make that less of a one-dimensional retake. Unfortunately, they had no CT utility to be able to come in towards that retake with. That's why you see a lot of teams quite passive on the save in these kind of situations. But a retake in through spawn side there, very, very difficult prospect into the crossfire that Complexity established for themselves across this, Ninja B main site. Basically just walking into a firing squad and Complexity setting themselves up a post plant. Like, look at this. As soon as JT takes contact, Floppy's swinging in, and then another player swinging from main at the same time. Like, you're running into a triangle crossfire.